Shalom, shalom, once again, giving honor and praise unto the Most High, the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. My name is Yeshaya Yisrael of the tribe of Dan of the nation of Israel. Brothers and sisters, we are going to, in this particular case, go over body parts in Hebrew for edification purposes, regarding how body parts are stated, how it is said in the language, and so forth and so on. Now, brothers and sisters, let us start. We want to point out, all right, that we have, brothers and sisters, this particular word here, which is the word head, all right? The Hebrew word, brothers and sisters, for head is the word rosh, okay? We want to point that out for reason and purposes, if we will, okay? The next word, brothers and sisters, that we see here is forehead. The Hebrew word for forehead is the word mezak. The word mezak, spelled with men, zade, and chet, brothers and sisters, is how one says forehead in Hebrew. Okay? Let me see something real quick, if we will. Slightly better in that particular case. Here we have, brothers and sisters, I want to move this up from the way it looks on my own phone. All right? We have here, okay, the word head, which is the word rosh. Then we have forehead, okay, which is the word mezak. Then we have here eye, like the eye you see with, all right? That is the word ayin. That's how that's stated. Okay, next we have here the word nose. The word for nose is the word af. Af is how you say nose in Hebrew. Okay? Next we have the word mouth, if we will. Mouth in Hebrew is the word peh, just like the letter itself. Okay? So far we have these five. The word for head is rosh. The word for forehead, mezak. The word for eye, ayin. The word for nose, af. The word for mouth, peh. Okay? Next we have here the word for lip, which is the word safa. Okay? Safa is how you say lip. The word for tongue in Hebrew is the word lashon. Okay? The word lashon means tongue in Hebrew. All right? Next we have here the word neck. The Hebrew word for neck is the word oref. Oref is the Hebrew word for neck. Next we have the word bone, brothers and sisters. The word for bone in Hebrew is the word etzem. All right? So far, again, for those who are joined on, thank you. We have the word for head is rosh. The word for forehead, mezak. The word for eye, ayin. The word for nose, af. The word for mouth, pe. The word for lip, safa. The word for tongue, lashon. The word for neck, oreth. The word for bone, edzem. The word for shoulder, we're going to put over here, is the word shekem, is shoulder. Sorry about that being close in that regard. All right. Next, we have here the word chest, which is the word hazeh. Hazeh is the word for chest. All right. The word for arm, brothers and sisters, is the word zeroah. Okay. The word for hand, as many do know, okay, is the word yad. The word for finger, as many do know, brothers and sisters, is the word esba. All right, so we can gain that for edification purposes. Esba is the word for finger. Spelt that so. And lastly, we see here the word for nail is the word zaporen. Okay, spelt that so. So, brothers and sisters, let us look at this, if we will. All right. I'm going to show this so it can be seen all the way through. Let us look at this and see. The word for head is the word rosh. The word for forehead is the word mizak. The word for eye is the word ayin. The word for nose is the word af. The word for mouth is the word pe. The word for lip is the word safa. The word for tongue is the word lashon. The word for neck is the word oreth. The word for bone is the word edzem. The word for shoulder, sorry about it being close, it is the word shekem, shin, kaf, mem, sofi. The word for chest is the word kazeh. The word for arm is the word zeroah. The word for hand is the word yad. The word for finger is the word etzba. And the word for nail is the word ziporen. All right. So we have rosh, mitzak, ayin, af, pe, safa, lashon, oref, edzem, sheken, kazeh, zeroah, yad, etzba, ziporen. So these are the body parts so far that we have gone over in this particular case, if we will. All right. We want to, brothers and sisters, flip this over. All right. Not tear it out, but flip this over in this particular case. And continue on with these particular words. All right. We have here in this particular aspect. We have here the word for elbow is the word maltapik. Okay. And the word for thumb is the word bohen. The word for muscle, brothers and sisters, is the word sharir. That's a race. The word for belly, brothers and sisters, is the word beten. All right. The word for thigh is the word yarek. Now, I want to emphasize, brothers and sisters, the word thigh means yarek. All right. This is not talking about, as some people have tried to state, it's talking about one's genitalia. No, it's the side is the word yarek. All right. We're not going to talk about genitals in this particular lesson, but I just want that to be pointed out for reason and purposes. The next word we have is the word ni, which is berek with a kaf, so feet at the end. Okay. The word for foot, all right, is the word regel. So far, brothers and sisters, we have marpik for elbow, thumb bohen, muscle sharir, belly beten, thigh yarek, knee berek, foot regel. And the word for ankle, brothers and sisters, is the word quarsol. Okay? Spelled that so. Quarsol is the word for ankle, if we will. Next, we have the word for waist, brothers and sisters, which is the word moten. The word, brothers and sisters, for skin is the word or, if we will. Or means skin. And, brothers and sisters, the word for hair is the word se'ar. So let us go over this again, brothers and sisters. All right? We have elbow, mar pick, thumb, bohen, muscle, sharir, belly, beten, thigh, yarek, knee, berek, foot, regel, ankle, quarsol, waist, moten, skin, or hair, say all. So these are the words we may say selected in regards with the body parts regarding the Hebrew language. All right. Now, you will notice good and well that I did not place vowels because we want to get into conversation and the aspect of speaking and hearing one with another. All right. So let us, if we will, flip this one over and let us continue, brothers and sisters, with this aspect in the adjective matter. Now, as we already know, brothers and sisters, an adjective describes a noun. A noun is a person, place, or thing. Body parts are relegated as things in this particular case. So in Hebrew, we want to point out that the adjective a d j, the adjective follows the noun. In Hebrew, all right, the adjective follows, we put follows, sorry, follows the noun. So if we have a noun such as regel, meaning foot, right? You have regel, which means foot, right? The noun is there. The adjective will follow it. So you would say, just given an adjective which we know describes a noun, right? We can say, brothers and sisters, regel, okay? Regel, toba. Now, why do we say that? Because regel means foot as a body part itself. Therefore, when you show it in the form of it's being described, it has to be described in a feminine, even if you're talking about a man's foot, all right? A child's foot, an elder's foot, an elder woman's foot. Body parts, when shown in adjective form and being described, brothers and sisters, is shown in the feminine. That's why in the Bible we see a strong hand. Let's use that one as an example. We used the word yad earlier. Yad means hand, right? So looking at it in that particular case, you have yad, then you have, for instance, yad kazakwa. Now, what does that mean? A strong hand. All right. Regel toba. Yad kazakwa. Now, even though these words, regel and yad, do not have at the end the kwamat followed by the hey, all right, you still show it in its description in the feminine. We want to point that out. Body parts, when being described, are described in a feminine aspect, even if you're talking about a male's hand or a male's foot or so forth and so on. All right. So, brothers and sisters, let us go over another example of what we are talking about. All right. Rosh. Rosh means leader, means head, means chief. All right. Rosh, if we will, Rosh Gedolah. That would be big head. That would be great head. In this case, brothers and sisters, as we are pointing out, body parts, when shown in description, okay, is shown inside of the feminine aspect. The adjective is shown in a feminine aspect. Regel Toba, Yad Kazakwa, Rosh Gedolah. You would not say Yad Kazak. You wouldn't say Rosh Gadol. You wouldn't say Regel Tob. All right, in that particular case. So these are things, brothers and sisters, that we want to point out for edification purposes. If I can be heard by those who are in the room, let me please get a one, and shalom to the people who are in said room. What we're going to do now, brothers and sisters, in closing this particular presentation out, all right, is go back to where we were at and go over those body parts again, okay? So now let us look, if we will. We didn't put the vowels in. Please pay attention in this aspect. Head, rosh. Forehead, metzak. Eye, ayin. Nose, af. Mouth, pe. Lip, safa. Tongue, lashon. Neck, oref. Bone, eczem. Shekem, pardon me, shoulder, shekem. Chest, chazeh. Arm, zeroah. Hand, yad. Finger, etzba. Nail, zeporen. Now, when we say nail, in this case, as zeporen, we're talking about the nails on your hand. This is not the nail that you would use, say, in construction. That's the word masmar. Masmar, even with a resh. All right. So we want to emphasize the distinction between the nail in your hand, all right, that's extended from your finger, and the nail that you use in construction. This nail here is a poren, all right. And let's say if you have the patish and the hammer in your yard, you would use it on a masmar. Masmar is the word for nail when you're dealing in construction in that particular case. All right. So just want to point that out for reasoning purposes. Now, in the concluding list for this lesson, all right, we have elbow, marpek, thumb, bohen, muscle, sharir. Now, this doesn't matter if you're talking about a female's muscle. You would just say sharireha, her muscles, but it wouldn't be sharir for a male muscle and sharira for a female muscle. That doesn't work in that case, all right, in that particular aspect. Belly, beten, thigh, yerek. Now, as we pointed out, some people lacking no disrespect intended understanding of how the language works thinks that yarek has something to do with genitalia when it does not. All right, yarek means thigh. Knee, berek. All right, foot, regel. Ankle, cortisol. Waist, moten. Skin, or. And here, say all. So, brothers and sisters, this is just something we want to point out in that particular case, if we will. All right. Now, the other rule that we went over in this, okay, is that the adjective in Hebrew follows the noun. So these are the adjectives here. And as you pointed out in dealing with body parts, you have the noun as in any other case first. But because it's body parts, its description, which is the adjective, is treated in a feminine. All right. So this is just what we want to point out. If there is a young boy, you would call him Yeled Tob. All right, because you're talking about him as a person. But if you're talking about body parts, all right, that is when the adjective is shown in a feminine case. So, brothers and sisters, all right, if I can be heard, give me a 1 by the people that's in here from the way it's looking and so forth and so on. Okay, are there any questions, comments, or so forth concerning this presentation before we close out? All right, that is my question. Any questions or comments before we close out? We are going to, oh, somebody gave me a dislike. I wonder what that's about. Okay. Well, thank you for the view nonetheless. We're going to, brothers and sisters, at 3 o'clock. It is now 2:07, 2:08. We are going to, at 3 o'clock, brothers and sisters, have one more lesson concerning the masculine and feminine aspect of Hebrew. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think in the comments. Shalom. Again, 3 p.m. next live Hebrew presentation on the masculine and feminine aspect. Shalom.